right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News. We got me and Adam and an empty seat.
You had Scott last week, you had me this week.
Well,
Funny how that
I
works.
don't know if y'all got a problem with me or what, but that's the way it works. Anyway, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors for helping us out here. How about Langley Speedway, 75 years. I want to thank Bill and Chuck and Terry for letting us do the show here. It's really fun to be able to do that, and we thank them a lot for it. Miles of Seamless Gutters. They do the uniform at the end of the year or for the next year or whatever. It's
Giveaway.
That's a big deal they help us with. Not Brad. Gosh, no, look at me. Anyway, Factory Canopies and Airlocks. I want to thank Todd Davis and all those guys down there for those. They've been with us since day one. It's a big deal for them. S&M Communications, Brian Morehouse, and we appreciate he's been with us since day one under different names, but he's been with us all along. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. Adam, I think we're about due for some of that, don't you think?
Let's call old Eddie up, but he doesn't get anything from Monterey. No more moonshine for him.
Yeah, he can't have no more moonshine because he just went off deep on them. All right, then we have Papa John's. If you order Papa John's online and put Dodson 25, you will get 25% off of your order. Mean Dean's Automotive. I haven't seen him out here this year yet.
We've got a couple more weeks to work on the car, though. Hopefully that's enough.
Yeah. Anyway, Mean Dean's Automotive and Greer and Associates from Moyock, North Carolina. I did it again. RDS Performance, Nine Toed Skinnell. We went by Nine Toed Skinnell's shop this afternoon and talked to him for a little while. He's got a bunch of cars and he's working on and got a lot going on. So that'll be I think he's going to be out here this weekend. He had the winning car at Dominion week before last with Doug Barnes.
There you go.
So he's done well. Gator Graphics, Sammy Gator, thanks for all he's done for us. He's made a lot of signs for us. Southampton Motor Speedway, the drift track up at Capron. They had a big, this past weekend was Women's Day this past weekend. All the women were out there drifting. So that's what you should have done. Mosquito Joe, Robert Rummels. Thank Robert for all he does with it for us. And hopefully, he'll be around for a while. He sure lets us know when he is around. Pepsi, our drink of choice. Mine is Pepsi. His is Scott's is Mountain Dew. I ain't seen you drink but one drink since you've been here. So what are you?
Yeah, Pepsi. I like cherry Pepsi.
Oh,
yes. Cherry's the best kind.
MPM Performance or Precision Marketing. I want to thank Tanya McAllister. She is supposedly got the uniform and we'll have it coming to us by the end of the week, hopefully. So for Chris Bechtel, and he ain't getting no more uniform. Bondurant Brothers Distillery, Robert Bondurant. I got to get up there and get some more moonshine. I'm down to my last jug, so I got to get some more after Fast Eddie.
That's right.
And Tim Brown over at Slinger Speed. Hopefully we'll have some stuff from him in the very near future, and we'll have some T-shirts and stuff like that to give out. And Great American Companies, GAC. Want to thank Guillermo Amaya. He owns GAC. He's been with us almost since we got started, so that's a big deal to have him with us. So we really appreciate that. Anyway, all right, let's do some news real quick before we start doing some interviewing. In the Cup Series, Austin Cindric got the win. What do you think about that race? Did you see any of it?
I caught the end of it. Yeah, it was pretty decent.
I didn't catch the end of it. I was watching somebody play baseball. The Xfinity win went to Austin Hill. When you put this cat on a big super speedway, he's gonna win.
He'll find a way, man.
He's gonna win. There ain't no doubt about it. Lawless Allen won the ARCA race, and that was a big deal. Venturini Motorsports. Big Bill Venturini. I went over and gave him a great big old kiss on the lips after he won the race. He does it with all his new drivers. So, down at Bowman Gray in the Sportsman Series, Zach Orr got the win. The modified race number 1, Brandon Ward. And modified race number 2, my buddy Jason Myers got the win. And that's a big deal for him to get it. I think it was his 45th win at Bowman Gray. So that's a pretty big deal. In the Cars Tour down in Orange County, in the pro late models, Luke Baldwin got the win. And for all you who don't know, Luke Baldwin, he is the guy who Tommy Baldwin's son, who just started racing modified. And then he gets in a Cars Tour car and gets a win. Jared Fryer got the late model stock car win, and I didn't see the finish orders. Down at Pensacola, Southern Pro Series, Jake Finch got the win. That's my buddy Jake. Remember Jake when he was way smaller than him? Used to aggravate the hell out of us when we were down there. Down at Dixieland, the Sport Compact, Lance Gregory. The Super 4s, Ron Winterburn. Now, here's one for you. Ron Winterburn, guess what? I raced against him.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he's older than me. And I raced against him.
Yeah.
We don't need to go all that far, do we? So
It's called experience.
yeah, that's what I call it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ron Winterburn, he was one of the guys back in the day. He raced mostly at Dixieland, but I only went down there a few times. All right. Also, we have Dixieland Super Streets, Michael Wells, Sportsman Larry Jackson, late models. Billy Hubbard got his second win. How about the news? Rodney Childers is out at Spire Motorsports.
Yeah.
He just up and left. I mean,
They
walked
went
out the
different
door.
ways.
I mean, he only made 9 races, and he decided that wasn't what he wanted to do.
But he did say he wants to stay in the Cup
Now,
Series.
how in the world is Scott Allen on here? He's supposed to be coming here.
The math doesn't add up.
It doesn't. Tony Uri Jr. is out at. He's going to take a new job. He's out at Fury Motorsports.
Those are 2 good guys on the market.
Yeah, I think Tony's got something lined up. Haven't heard anything, but I think he's got something lined up already. And how about the DQs of Logano and Priest this past weekend?
Couple top 5 finishers right there.
Yeah, well,
They were.
Logano made a butt of himself this weekend, the way he was overall.
I'm happy with his boy there.
Yeah, he was not happy with his teammate. That's pretty bad.
Could make for a good meeting on Tuesday.
Not good.
Sure, it was a good meeting.
Definitely vocal.
And I got news this week. Somebody sent me a message. On May the 10th, Rick Paust will be back at the racetrack. Not racing, but he's coming back to the racetrack. So we'll see him on May the 10th. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't see. I see Dan's already on here, but we haven't seen Jefferson Hodges. I guess he's going to wait a couple more minutes, so we'll get to him in a minute. So need you to do your pit road roundup with Scott Adam Wellbrock.
We had a fun weekend, man. 2 first-time winners in the limiteds, and the rain held out just enough.
Yeah.
As soon as we were done racing, the sky.
It looked like it did right as soon as it was over with. I mean, y'all probably didn't have a chance to get off pit road good before it started raining.
Nope.
Bechtel said he couldn't hardly get. John Bechtel was trying to get across the pits, and yeah, he got soaked.
I was coming on the tech shot. I got soaked.
Yeah, there was a river in turn 1.
In Bandos, Landon Burbich got another win, 2 for 2 this year. He's had 5 starts and he's won 5 races. The kid can drive. Limited race 1, our boy Adley Weiss got it done for the first time. They blew a motor in practice. The whole county got lit up in smoke. Turn 3, man, it was like a bomb.
But did he? Was that race 1? He blew up in practice and made race 1.
They qualified 5th and made race 1.
Wow.
They called Mark Wirtz, Brad Adams, and a bunch of other people, brought the motor in from offsite, fixed it in turn 4, replaced it, and he qualified. It was the last car
You
qualified.
know, that's the golden thing, because Chris Roberts blew up the first modified week.
That's right.
And then won after they replaced the motor in the pits.
That's true, yeah.
So I guess you have to blow a motor up to
Maybe that's the
and
secret.
replace it in the pits to win.
Yeah, that was a great effort from them. Super Trucks, somebody named Chris Bechtel. We've heard of him.
Yeah.
Bechtel's on a roll. 7 straight wins,
7,
man. I'm gonna tell you.
Yep, and he won flag, but he wasn't lucky this week. He was good.
Yeah.
He led every lap. So
I mean, he does good, even though he's got this spotter up there that
I've heard mixed things about it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed things about him. So
Don't trust him.
Not hard to spot when
He's
he's leading a race, but
It doesn't make your job easy.
Dale Nichols won the Super Street race. That race was pretty good, but that 8 car, I think, has got a stranglehold on that class, man. Dale is good. Just about
where's
everywhere.
Sammy?
Sammy was 3rd.
Wow.
He ended up 3rd on a late race restart. Gordon Weeks took the choose and held him off. So Gordon finished 2nd. Dale was 3rd, or Sammy was 3rd. Legends, Charlie Beals got the win.
Imagine that. Charlotte Beals. I think he wins at least everywhere he goes, at least once or twice a year.
Yeah, he won at Dominion last weekend and came to Langley and won this weekend. Had his boys wearing the number 5 gear and they had a good time. Limited race number
I'll
2.
tell you.
Brian Rudstrom.
Yeah, Brian Rundstrom. This is his first year in limited since, isn't it?
No.
He ran part-time here last year.
Did
He
you?
ran that series.
He didn't run here full-time.
Oh, okay.
But this is his first full-time season here at Langley. Yeah, he got the invert and he whooped him. It's fun to watch. And then in the Enduro, Zach Erdline, second week in a row. 32 parked it.
Pretty cool.
So he's won the most races this year, 2 for 3.
All right, Jefferson, turn your camera on so we can see you. I mean, he's on here, but I don't see. So, anyways, any truth to it, Sparky? You can't see over the railing up there. I mean, what do the people said over here? Said you can't see over the railing.
That's okay. That's okay. You can look under the railing. You don't got to see over.
Well, you know, when I spot from the infield, I have to stand from the tech sheet.
It's a good place to stand.
But I'm short, so I would
Put the cat dragged in, man.
like this. I would move up and stand on the roof and move to a higher perspective. And I got yelled at. So now I can't.
Well, everybody, Scott's made it. Is the camera right? Good.
So yeah, I can't stand on the roof. So
I was wondering, because Bechtel just said that you have a hard time seeing over the railing.
Yeah, I know.
You can look under it. It's just as good underneath, I'm sure. But I've done that before when they leave the haulers in the track for
Yeah.
the rain delay.
Mhm.
I stood on the tech shed. You can see me on the broadcast standing up there.
All right, I see we've got Jefferson Hodges in there getting ready. We'll get him on here in just a minute. And yeah, I see him right there, but I'm trying to do something else right this minute. You know how I am.
But Robert Bondrich said, "What's up? What's up, Robert? Jack's gonna come see you sometime."
Yeah, I got to come see you, Robert. All right, let's do a little.
Hello, I'm Phoenix Kimball. I'm the 88 legend car driver at Lake County Speedway, and you're watching Jack Dodson Racing Inside News with Scott Allen and Adam Wilbrock.
See if we can remember to do RC.
He's doing good.
Let's not give him credit yet.
Well, he isn't done yet.
Yeah, don't give me no credit yet. All right, let's get Jefferson Hodges on here. Are you gonna fuck you ain't got your stuff now? There's Jefferson Hodges. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
All right, try it again. I don't know if I got you or not.
I said I'm doing well. How about yourself?
All right, there we go. We got you now. Good. Then we got the big win this weekend. How's things going?
Well, they're going a lot better now than they were a week ago, I guess.
The win,
We we've had plenty of speed and plenty of opportunity to win, and just, haven't one thing or another, happen. Seems like every race, probably other than Coda, we didn't have much of a shot at that one, but finally we're able to put it together.
Jefferson, how do you keep up with everything you got to do? Now, you were in Indy, and then you went down to Talladega, and I'm sure you're going to be heading back to Indy pretty soon. So how do you keep all that in perspective? How do you keep things going?
I just work a lot, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty organized, always have been. So I just kind of, keep up with it that way. But yeah, I was in Indy Tuesday through Thursday. And after the IndyCar test there Thursday evening, I left there and was supposed to go straight to Talladega, and my plane got diverted to Washington, Reagan. So checked out the monument for a couple hours and then finished on my way to Talladega and got there about 3 minutes before the garage opened Friday.
Wow.
So it was pretty exciting weekend.
So now who all you got racing at Indy this year?
So this year we've got the Joseph Newgarden, who's the back-to-back champion, going for 3 in a row, never been done. We have Will Power, who's probably the seasoned veteran of the group, and then Scott McLaughlin, who's he's made most of his name from being the V8 Supercar champion. He's won the Bathurst 1000, and now he's won a handful of IndyCar races, and he was actually ended up being the fastest in practice. So we'll see.
Oh, well, that's cool. Now this weekend had a mixed bag of things for you. I mean, you got the win, but then there was a little problem with Joey's car, and Ryan didn't have a very good race at all. So y'all had a little tough weekend. Yeah,
that's what happens when you bring 3 or 4 cars to the racetrack. You end up with some good news and some bad news and some hurt feelings usually, and you go to the shop Monday and put it all back together, and I think we're all looking forward to Texas. But yeah, the 22 guys had a misfortune post race, and just kind of one of those things. Like, everybody's doing everything they can to go as fast as they can, and it's ultra competitive, and sometimes things just get away from you a little bit more than you expected them to, and you pay the price. But at the end of the day, I'm glad it was the 22 and not the 2, because that would have been a whole lot harder to explain to Mr. Penske.
Now there was a little thing going on between Joey and Austin Cindric. Did the powers to be, you don't have to tell me what all took place or nothing, but did the powers to be sit down and have a long talk about that situation?
I think it was a real short talk. We're not going to do that again. Neither way. Austin made a mistake, and it's the heat of the moment, and he wasn't on an island by himself. What people saw in the front stretch is not what upset Joey. It had happened a half a lap before that and allowed the 23 to get down in front of him. And at the end of the day, the 5 was pushing the 21, and the 21 transferred all its energy to the 2. And, then the 2 had a choice to make, and just things are happening fast, and he transferred all that energy to the 23, and he got in front of the 22 and took that stage win. And, ultimately it doesn't matter, because they would have taken that from the 22 as well. But in the heat of the moment, I understand both sides. And, at the end of the day, the 5 started pushing the 21. So I'm just going to blame Cliff Daniels and move on.
Look, now give us a little explanation exactly what took place on Joey's car.
So there's 18 button head bolts, quarter inch in diameter long button head bolts that hold the spoiler to the spoiler base. And to one of the pre-race tech items is spoiler deflection. So there's not just a spoiler angle rule, but there's a deflection rule based off the weight, and you got to be within a certain tolerance. So at the end of the day, the tightness of those 18 bolts can change how much it deflects, and you're trying to get everything you can without being wrong. And at the end, one of them was loose after the race, and they've got to be in there, and they've got to be tight. Your idea tight and my idea tight might be a little bit different. And that's where you can work on the deflection. And, you still have to be within the rule, but you can get it as good as you want, or as good as you're willing to risk. And after the race, there was 17 tight ones and 1 loose one. So it was the same area of the car, but a very different issue than what the 60 had. But at the end of the day, we race to the rule book, whether we're, looking for something that they haven't written down yet, or, abiding by what is written down. That's just the Penske way. And we were wrong. And that's why you saw no appeal, and it was a pretty simple process. It was kind of over and done with before we ever even left the racetrack.
So somebody asked me this question today. They knew you were coming on the show, and they asked me the question, how come that wasn't caught prior to the race, or did it work itself loose during the race?
It was loose enough that it worked itself looser.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, we're walking a really fine line, and it just kind of comes down to how much you're willing to push the issue to get all that you can get. And, that nut should have probably been another 1/8 to a quarter round tighter on that bolt when the race started. And then it would have been, fine. They're not asking them to be, 100 foot-pounds tight. They're just asking them to be tight. And we, that in particular one wasn't. So it was on us.
So, Jefferson, do you guys bring all 3 cars to the racetrack with the same setup, or do you guys go in different directions?
For the most part, they're the same. I would say when when this car started, when we very first started racing the next gen car, it was, a definite advantage that us and Gibbs and Hendrick had, to be able to, bring 4 different race cars or 3 different race cars or whatever it is to the racetrack with different setups, and kind of, start eliminating things that don't work and checking the boxes of the things that do. But now it's, it's kind of like anything else, right? Like we figured out what works. We know what geometry works. We know the shocks and springs, the box. The box is small to begin with, and we've made it even smaller because we know it's starting to work and what isn't. There's some fundamental differences, that it's just a driver feel thing, but all the big stuff, the camber is directly related to the amount of air you can run in the tires, which is directly related to whether it's going to last or not. So we've kind of found the threshold on those things, and stuff like that's all identical. You might have a little something here or there for driver comfort, but at that point you're talking really small things.
And does the IndyCar, because y'all are one of the only teams that have IndyCar team, are y'all able to learn anything on the IndyCar side of things that can apply to the NASCAR side of it, maybe even vice versa?
Yeah, I think it's a two-way street. There's no denying the success at Penske that we've had since this next gen car, and I mean, no one else has won a championship with the thing but us. And you hear a lot about the floorboards, and at the end of the day, that's what we're racing, is the floor pan on these things. And Indy cars have been racing floor pans for 40 years, and we have the Porsche IMSA program that's in the building as well, and they're racing floorboards too. So sure, we had at least a jump start on it. We had some good people over on that side of the fence that could help us and explain, how they're making changes and how they were getting action out of the air that was going under the car, which is what it's all about. So I don't think the details are the same, but the broad picture that they were able to paint for us, was definitely an advantage at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about the bottom of it being flat like some of the other series. Because I was talking to one engineer leaving Phoenix, taking the red out back from Phoenix, and they were telling me how a lot of it is just on how far you can get the rear of the car down, so it creates suction, right? And that's where a lot of stuff appears to be done now. It's a different way than what we're used to, typical stock car racing or short track racing, I guess.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the box we've put ourselves in. The back of the car has got to be as low as possible so the diffuser will work. You need the most airflow under the car, so the best way to do that is to raise the nose, and then they're junk in traffic, because you're cutting the air that's getting underneath the car, and it's just killing them. So now they all just ride around at the exact same speed. The thing was designed to have the front of the car on the ground, so the airflow change under the car didn't affect you that much, and then they actually could race better, which is why you saw a little bit. I would argue you saw a little bit better racing with these things when they first came out. And now we've learned how to get the raw speed out of them and the handling when they're out front. And, now you watch these races and you listen to everything, Monday through Wednesday, and it's all about the pit stops and pit road and getting off pits first and saving fuel. And it's all because the cars are designed to be out front now. And if you're not out front, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in the back, you're going to lose it like that. It's not no doubt about that.
That's, yeah.
Tell us a little bit now. Ryan is having a tough season so far. I mean, he's had some ups and downs. So tell us what all we got going on with him. Tell us what all we got going on with him to get him back up front.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just been bad luck, right? Like he's had tons of speed. He's had some things that were, unfortunate, really, like, blowing a tire in practice in Las Vegas. And it's a horrible place to crash. You're going really fast and the walls are really close to the racetrack. So it kind of, put him behind the 8 ball a little bit there. The deal this weekend, like he wasn't even coming to pit road. He was just minding his own business. And you got a couple of the, some of the guys that are supposed to be the best in the world and they get, can't come to pit road without wrecking each other and just clip him. And it's kind of been like that all year. I will say that, the racing world, there's a different version of Ryan than what we knew for the first 10 years or so of his career. Like he knows now that he's a cup champion and he knows that he can win every race. And a lot of these things would weigh on him before and kind of put him in a slump. And he was ready to go to Texas before we ever left Talladega because he knows he's got a shot to win every one of these races. And I'd never bet against him. It's just kind of getting the monkey off his back and the bad luck. And, like some of the luck you make yourself. But for him in this instance this year, it's been a lot of bad luck that wasn't his fault.
Well, it seems like his car's got a lot of speed in it. So, I mean, every week he's right there. But then, like you say, the bad luck gets him. And then it's all downhill from that point.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if it, whether it's a horrible week on pit road, which he had, or at Bristol, he had the entire field a lap down. Like, was he as good as Larson? Was the 5 better than us that day? There's no two ways about it. The 5 was the best car at Bristol, hands down. But, Jonathan Hassler and the risk that Ryan was willing to take and what he knew going into that race he was going to have to do with the tires to be able to run that long, they had the entire field trapped. And, when have we ever gone to Bristol and only had 3 cautions? It's things you've never heard of happening. And sure enough, they're happening right now. So it'll turn around. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned around this weekend. I expect them to be lightning fast, and he loves Texas. And, I think it's just a matter of time.
All right, the month of May's coming up. We got a whole bunch of racing going on. Where are we going to see Jefferson Hodges during the month of May?
You're going to see me in Indianapolis most of the time. I never, growing up at Langley and just being a stock car racer my whole life, other than having a little yard cart that had Rick Mears's Pennskes fiberglass body on it, I really didn't follow IndyCar racing that much. And, getting a chance to not only go, but feel like I'm a huge part of the success that they've had the last couple of years. I kind of feel like, when you're a kid and waiting for Christmas, it's like you want the month of May to roll around. And from the time you get off the airplane in that city, it's a racing town. And everyone is so happy that those guys are there. And it's a spectacle to see. And so I end up being there for 15 or 16 days. And, honestly, I go home the Monday after the race, and I kind of plan it that way because they do a winner's banquet on Monday, and I'm not going to plan to not be at that. So, but you don't want to leave when the race is over and the month is over and it's time to come home and come back to reality and go back stock car racing. It takes a little bit to get over it and get your stick back on the ice and be ready to go NASCAR racing. So I'll be there. Miss the All-Star and the 600 is what I end up missing.
Oh man, I was getting ready to say we won't even see you during Charlotte weekend.
Yeah, the whole rest of the industry talks about racing at home for 2 weeks, and I take off and leave.
Well, Jefferson, we appreciate your time, man. Thanks a lot for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll get you back again after all this is over with and see how things went for you all the way around.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. I appreciate what you guys are doing and always enjoy talking to you.
We enjoy talking to you too, man, and we'll see you again soon, okay?
All right, we'll see you.
All right, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it should show like how many people have come through Langley Speedway.
Yeah.
And it's made it to the pinnacle of the NASCAR racing.
And then he's going up there to Indy, and
I don't know how many have they won? 17.
18 or 20.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you
The
know,
last 2
and
years.
working for Penske, he's right on the cusp of everything. All right, we got our superstars at Langley Speedway coming up. So if you'll go down one, you go down one. I will give these two chairs. And I'm
You
going
want to both up there at the same time?
Yeah.
You said the lettuce?
Huh?
Lettuce?
You ain't gonna hit him, are you?
I guess it's next to
Yeah. Well, you can put Adam between you.
well, you sleep next door, so I
her.
mean,
My neck is hanging on. He
Hey.
went to the forward chair. Oh,
Do you need a chair or do you need a
no, what it.
Oh, all right.
I'll go sit in the tall chair.
There you go.
What do you want me,
Right.
you
Jump.
want me to step over there?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I'm short
I
now.
got you if you fall.
I am old.
Oh,
I'm a grandma.
that don't make you up. Well, it does make
Well, look,
you
now you just left the picture.
good. I don't have to be in the picture.
It's in one piece picture.
Yeah,
Why do you get closer to him? All right.
Big salaries.
Good save.
Yeah, I mean,
Good save.
Some people are just way behind on it. All right, Sparky. She done got a third place run finish a couple weeks ago. I mean, I'm running him. I'm telling you.
I already heard it.
I heard.
We didn't get out the track.
I heard she went to the whip. She went to the whip during that race and said, "I got this."
I was going to her because she couldn't find the bottom in turn 1 and 2 lap after lap.
So you're saying she still can improve?
Yes. I was on the radio every lap. I was like, "Hey, Crystal, find that line at the bottom of turn 1 and 2."
Sparky, don't you know? I mean, how long you been married?
30 years?
3 years.
30 years.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Every year
You
comes
ain't supposed to tell her what she.
Hey girls, I love y'all.
Oh.
Sorry, my kids are watching.
So anyhow, yeah, no. I was after her lap after lap, and I'm like, "You gotta get to the bottom. You gotta get to the bottom." And she just,
But she finished
She didn't
third.
listen.
no. Typical woman, they don't listen.
But she finished third.
Yeah, it's not proud of her. She finished.
She finished third. I mean, third. You know, at one point she said, "I'm gonna give it up. I ain't doing it no more."
That's
She's
good.
already said that.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
It got to finish third,
Well, this
And I
was
was-
all in the same race.
and then she came in here and hit me on the arm. She was so excited she didn't know what to do.
I know.
You should have kept your door locked.
Huh?
You should have kept the door locked.
I like her. She's pretty, you know. She's got one of our shirts on. So I mean,
No.
Yes. See, the funny part is when I get to Victory Lane before my husband, you might want to watch out for that speech. Because boy, oh boy, would that be a speech to remember.
If my spotter hadn't been holding me back all this whole time.
We appreciate it. You know, if she gets too close to
just
winning.
Brian's got a mute button up here. Thanks for the warning.
We know.
Actually, the funny part about it was I got mad at him one race. I mean, I was really mad at him. And there was a guy in the pit. I said, "Hey, race super streets." I forgot his name, but I said, "Will you spot for me in practice?" You know? He said, "Sure." So I'm getting the car ready and with the tire pressures I remembered, and we go out there and I spin around. Every turn I'm spinning around. The tire pressure was way off. So I had to swallow my pride. I had to come in the pit as soon as I picked. I'm like, "I need you to fix this."
Yeah, that week I was racing, so I had my car in the infield. She was in the outfield on her own. She didn't know what she was doing.
Now, once you come in here,
I think you parked him on pit road. I think I saw it.
Yeah,
Did
probably.
you park next in front of like on the pit lane in front of the car or behind the car.
She's like,
Yeah, and they got the air out.
That was the
And, I
first
mean,
night, I think.
trust and believe me, he was literally gloating about what I had to do. Because I was seriously thinking, do I really need to race tonight? Is it really that important? I'm like, yeah. But for the record, I don't like, when people always tell me I did good and they always joke on him, it's two totally different cars. So people can talk and they can, praise, I got third place finish, but he drives a limited. He drives a real drive car that if I got into it, I would be a ballerina in every turn. So, I mean, I can't do what he can do. Not yet. Not yet. I'm all about
trying to get her
perfecting
car.
one thing. If I can perfect, racing a front wheel drive car and winning a championship, I'll then think about,
Do you guys have any time apart? Because y'all are here on the weekends together, you live together.
No.
Obviously.
I mean,
Me
no.
and my wife would kill each other.
Well,
one time, I applaud you.
Hey, get this, you won't hear when all this come out. We're going on a cruise together.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Before the show started, we were sitting talking about going on vacation and all that, and turns out we're going on the same cruise in November that Jack's
Oh,
going.
really?
I was like, bring your computer, we'll do the show.
You tried that.
Be on the
It was like,
I was like, oh, that'd be hilarious. We'll be stuff there for margarita. But no, we don't get a part time. There was a point in time.
Wait a minute. I gotta call you on that.
Mhm.
You were out in that garage last night till 1:30.
we almost
yeah.
didn't,
I was
we almost didn't make the show.
So I know it's a lot going on with my car, trying to get it better. And those cars it's a full-time job.
for sure.
So, it's like you got to go through the bearings and the brakes and maintenance and oil and all that so often. Well, I knew I was coming out here tonight, so I'm not going to the garage tonight. I'm trying to come and test on Thursday. So that means I got Monday and Wednesday to get the car ready. So me and Dad were in the garage working on the car until 1 o'clock last night. Quite honestly, we lost track of time because, I just set my phone on the back bench and went to work on the car. But
You just didn't want to go home.
well, the best
Is it
part,
at y'all's house?
no, that's at my dad's. The best part is I go out to leave and she left the BMW Z4 convertible outside and came and got the other car. I go to get in the car and the top won't go up. So I rode home in a short
That's
sleeve
called
shirt.
karma. That's called
It was like
karma.
what? I don't know. It was cool last night. So I rode home in a convertible with the top down, wearing short sleeves, with the heat cranking. I was froze. The top wouldn't go up. This morning I go out and hit the button, the top went right up. I was
It's
like,
called karma.
the car didn't.
I mean, it was like 1 o'clock and I
I think you were
texted him, I
I
said, you
think it
can
was.
stay in the garage,
Yeah.
don't come home.
Yep. That's what she said.
Exactly what I said. He blew my phone
I mean,
back
To be
back.
fair, the garage got heat and air conditioning in it, and the seating limit's quite comfortable. I probably could have got in and sleep, but yeah, it's yeah.
So you're finding it really hard to get this car going and getting up to speed with it.
It's a demon thing. I'm still, this is the third year in the car. I had the blue car the first year, this car last year. It's just, I have to relearn how to drive it. I'm not used to big, heavy cars. I'm used to the little lightweight Legends that are nimble like an Indy car. I'm used to running 25 qualifying laps, and you can't do that in the limited. You have to manage tire wear, and you have to be easy on the gas. In the Legend, you just nail it in the corner and you let her eat, and that was it. You can't do that in a limited.
And the competition is pretty stiff, right? You have a lot of good. I mean, you got late model teams are helping a lot of these limited teams.
Well, I think most limited teams have some affiliation with somebody else. With I don't know about Rundstrom. I don't know. I talked to him because we were pitted next to him last week. First time I ever talked to him. Nice kid. I think he said they're from South Boston or somewhere out that way.
Okay.
I talked to his dad actually before the race. We were walking through the pits and we talked for 2 or 3 minutes. But yeah, it's a lot of the teams have affiliations with other teams, and I make the joke all the time that one of these days, one of us old guys, referring to me and Doug and the Morgan brothers, or Danny might
Danny.
actually win a race because we're the 30 and up crowd.
It's an old guys race.
Yeah, one of the old guys is gonna win a race one day. I don't know when, but right now we're all fighting the 14 and 15s and the 17s. I'm like, one of us old guys got to break through one of these days. I don't know when, but like last week we had the invert. I started on the front row with Danny. Man, me and Danny had a battle. I like running with Danny though, so we had a battle. I was like, this is fun, but I knew as soon as Rundstrom got to the back bumper and knocked me up, my race was over. There is no getting down. You can't get down.
It was one after another after another.
You can't, and it's that if on a start, you can't get down. If somebody on the outside behind you, they're going to find the hole before you can get to it. So if you can't
Unless it just opens up.
unless something happens, somebody messes up, you're not getting to the bottom.
That's true. I came back from 9th.
It's a different class. But like
I think she's telling you that he can show you how to do it.
yeah.
They won't give me a headset. Nobody will give me a headset. If I had a headset, first of all, I went to his car window when he lined up on the pole, and I said, I don't care if this comes off the track in pieces. You better not come off that track and let them boys show you up. I don't care if it's in pieces in the Viva Langley Speedway. He made it some laps. I was proud of it, but if they would have
I
given
wasn't
me,
giving up on me and Danny. Neither one of us were giving up. So
they would have let me have a headset. Oh yeah.
poor Danny. He did catch a right front fender.
Oh, did
Yeah, he tried to. Because we were pitted next to each other, so I was sitting there talking to Danny after the second race. He said, "Well, I tried to clear myself getting down there in turn 3. I was on his inside. He come down and caught the right front, knocked the weight out of my letters on the tire. I said, "Hey, it is what it is. Rubbin's racing.
You got to try.
But it's even after I got in, I got booted up and went to the back. I don't even know where I ended up. Race monitor didn't save anything, so I don't even know where I finished.
Oh yeah, go and pull it up afterwards.
Yeah.
I was looking for
They
it.
didn't say practice times or qualifying or race, so I would have no idea where I even finished.
Yeah, it only just had the last race.
Yeah.
There was
I don't
nothing
know
else
what
So
there.
you had another internet problem here again?
I don't know.
No,
But
it was transmitting fine. It just wasn't. You couldn't pull up
It didn't
results.
save it. It didn't save the race.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but
Got you 10.
how the heck did you get the finishing order?
I get an email.
Oh,
You're not on the note.
I'm
You're
not.
not on the list, Sparky.
I need to be on the need to know list here. But no, I
wasn't gonna say nothing. I got the email too.
you get the email.
No, I'm not on the.
You didn't get the email, okay. But now, even after I got down, I was sitting there riding along, and I was like, nobody can make any moves. I was watching Jacob. I don't know where Jacob finished, 5th, 6th, 4th. I was watching him in front of us. We were all kind of there, and wasn't nobody really passing anybody. All the passing happened in, I think, the first 5 laps, and everybody else was just riding after that.
Now, do you like the tires y'all are on, or do you wish y'all were on something else?
I might get in trouble if I say too much about the tires. No comment. I have said multiple times that I thought that we should probably be on like a modified tire. Now I know a lot of people hate the modified tire that they're on now. They don't like it. They changed it last year, but I think that they could. I mean, we're both on 8-inch tires. I don't know why we couldn't be on the same, but they've got some deal with Dominion, so I don't know.
So the 4-tire, the 2-tire deal that you guys are on.
We're on a 2-tire deal.
No, no, the 2-tire deal. First week, 4 tires.
Uh-huh.
There was some rumors floating around about somebody racing that didn't use all the,
Yeah, there might have been some.
I
I ain't
heard
gonna point no elbows. I heard about it though. We all heard.
I'm not even.
She doesn't. She don't pay attention.
No, I don't care.
I heard about it.
Oh, everybody in the pits heard about it, but I mean, it is what it is. They went over it in the rules meeting about how many laps you're supposed to have on tires. I think it has 50% or something like that, but I don't know. I didn't it wasn't enough for me to worry about. I wasn't concerned.
Okay, I was just wondering if you had anything you got to say about it, you know.
I know, I have to go back and find what the rule is, but I know it's supposed to be 50%.
I'm over it.
I know, like, the first race I didn't finish. I burned the plug wire on lap 26, which is super annoying. But being I had more than 50% of the race on my tires, I didn't have to make any laps on mine. But if you run less than 50% of the race, you're supposed to put more laps on your tires. Now, what percentage is that? They said it in the meeting. I didn't forgot. But evidently that criteria wasn't met. But I think I quite kind of understand some of it because they blew a motor in practice. That might have had something to do with it, and not being able to get out there. I don't know.
I ain't gonna go there. I'm getting into something I shouldn't. I'm gonna leave that one.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that Atlee won the race. I mean,
Right.
it's really cool to see him
For
win
sure.
a race. You know? But ain't no need to have a whole lot of griping about how he won the race or what happened during the
I
race.
mean,
I've heard it. I've been hearing it ever since Saturday night.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been going around.
well, I mean, technically, if you want to go there, I ran 5 laps on my tires. So when I came into my second race, I had 20 less laps than anybody in my division. If you want to
Yes.
play it that way. I mean, either way, I mean,
Like Randy said, a win is a win.
Hey,
yeah. I mean,
you take them how you get them.
Yeah. Phil always said there's no Astro beside your name.
Well-
it's not a win column. It doesn't have an Astro saying there was only 3 cars or you had more time or whatever.
I mean,
Stats don't change.
like Chris 2 weeks ago, a win's a win when the 2 people in front of him took each other out. I came on the radio and said, "Oh, wait, that was gifted."
See,
A win's a win.
I totally disagree. I totally disagree.
About what?
I don't want to win because everybody else in front of me crashed out of their car. Malfunction.
But you would think doing it.
I would because I would
I
want to
sure would say.
not any other purpose, but like,
Yeah, but you know, you have to be running up front because like
Yeah.
if you run second long enough, it's going to come.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, something's going to happen, regardless of how it happens. You still got to get there. I do feel bad for Leslie on that one because I
Yeah.
felt like he had. In my opinion, I don't think he should have been put to the rear. I think that was
I
a
watched the
racing
replay. Yeah, I thought it was kind of racing. But from a spotter crew chief with wind and truck, it was great.
Oh, for sure. And I would take it too.
yeah.
But I just remember Leslie when he was just a little teeny kid coming to arena racing and wanting to be involved. And you know, he's probably gonna win one and he's doing really well.
He's got a good truck. He's really good.
He's a very aggressive driver, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I want to aspire to be, you know?
Yeah, well, you can get out there and be aggressive.
Yes, but I was very proud of myself last race because I was able to maneuver those cars without touching a single car. Like if you look on floor race, it looked like I hit people. I never touched a single car.
I may have told her to go 3 wide through the middle, coming off turn 4 one time.
Yes, yes. So I watch.
Did you listen?
I go
Yeah.
back and watch slow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you gotta go. I mean,
but I got taught. It's funny because Chris Keller told me, he goes, you have to go slow to be fast. And I said, you are full of it. And that race, I kid you not, it was like
you
I was
weren't
driving the
as hard,
slowest
right?
I've ever drove, and all of a sudden these cars just come into me.
So
I'm like, this is crazy.
there's extremely a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Because when you overdrive, because that's essentially what you do when you drive it real hard, right? You just the geometry or the things in the car can't do what it's doing because you're binding it up in a way. It's a weird concept. I remember, I think it was Kenny Wallace was leading Busch race way back like in the 90s in Hickory, I think it was. And they came over with NASCAR sometimes will tell you to slow down. So like they were like, hey, you need to slow down because you're stinking up the show. They would literally come over the radio and tell you, or to go to the crew chief. And they did. So he started slowing down. Well, 10, 20 laps later, he was faster. And they were like, hey, we told you to slow down, you know. He's like, I did, you know, we told me to start letting off at the flag stand, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, it's no different than when I'm spotting for Chris. I'll tell him, hey, you got a half a straightaway lead. Don't burn your tires up. Because you don't know if you're going to get a late rate caution.
100%.
Yes, you got a half a straightaway lead and it looks great, feels great, but at the same time, don't burn your stuff up. But I ran into somebody you might know that Sunday,
Who's that?
Mr. Perlman.
That was a good one.
I was over at my buddy Dustin Connors. He's opened a store up in Smithfield, and he was over there, and I hadn't seen him in forever. But yeah, we was talking about how many arena racing wins he got. I think he says like over 100. I was like, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
But I know one championship he didn't get.
Which one's that?
The last one he competed against. No, he competed after that.
He didn't come here that year.
He was this close.
Yeah,
And Scott was this close.
that
He
close.
had a 4-point lead going into the last race.
Yeah.
And Scott told him, you ain't gonna win the championship.
Mm.
So when Scott got spun and
Travis won.
he turned it around and they met head on.
Nope. I don't remember that.
I remember because it was one of the races I went to.
I was
This
at
guy
all.
nuts.
Yeah, I was at so many of them, and I might have been on my head so many times I forgot some of them.
Well, it was up in Richmond. You weren't racing.
Yeah. I ran some in Richmond.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I was with Clayton then too.
With who?
Clayton Parrish
Mm.
when he was running, so they were going back and forth. I don't know. There's so many years of arena racing, I lost track of them.
So when we gonna get that first win? This week?
So I feel like there's a little bit more pressure this week because I did hit third. So now I'm like doing a lot of praying, like I need to get back to.
Are you excited though?
I am excited, but I want to be consistent on how to drive like that. It was a very different type of feeling car for me. So I don't want to go out there and overdrive again. So fun fact, I don't have a mirror on my car.
She does not.
I only have the rearview mirror. I don't have a side mirror because
You don't even have a
when I
rear view
see-
mirror, do you?
Yes, when I see the cars coming, I freak out and start overdriving to try to run from them. So I took it out. So if my earbuds ever go dead or something and you see me doing something super stupid, just know I'm holding on for dear life.
I don't think she runs without a spot mirror.
I never did. I mean, spotter said clear. I turned. I never looked at it. I could see where the little spot mirror could be very handy, especially when you're running door to door or side, side by
Well,
side with somebody.
I
You know how you can squeeze down, kind of squeeze them down.
Well, we'll take care of it. I'll run the spot mirror, getting in the corner, like on a start. If
Mhm.
something opens up, you can see it before the spotter can tell you.
Yeah.
But
Who spots read it?
Mike, Brad Adams spotter.
Okay.
He's
You
awesome.
don't trust Chris?
He's always busy too.
You don't trust your wife?
No. Actually, I told her 1 week.
Oh,
No,
no,
I
no,
was
no, no.
running- no.
Oh, no, you were driving my car when you
That's
wanted
right.
me to spot. I said, oh,
The-
hell no.
Opening week, she said, I want you to drive my car in first practice. So I handed her the headset. I said, all right, will you spot for me? She wouldn't spot.
Because it's in my car.
She gave the radio to Fred.
If I do something wrong, he's wrecking my car. Now, if he wrecks his car, we're okay. It's fine with me.
I was like, this stop. You've been
Wait a minute,
spot.
I gotta get a clarification on this before I go to Dan. If he wrecks his car, it's okay with you?
Yes, because he pays for his own car.
Oh, okay.
And I also pay for her car.
No. He gives me sponsorship money
Like I said, I
for
pay
me
for her car too.
advertising business on my car. So
I mean, that's good. If
not
that's
giving
a
me
deal.
anything. It's a sponsorship deal, which means that he never told me a certain dollar amount when I put the sticker on the car. So therefore, that's your own damn fault. That's nobody else's fault.
So if I take the sticker off the car, I don't have to give you no more money?
No, it's only for the rest of the year. You have to.
That's a contract. That's a contract.
There's no contract.
That's a verbal contract.
But I do want to give a shout out to our crew that we have. We have Devin and Joey and Emily that comes out, and the kids and my daughter and grandbaby. They all come out and support us.
He may have another week.
Yeah, Joey has a business called Venom Works, and he actually goes to people's houses and fixes their cars and does things like that. So I want to give them all a shout out. And
Absolutely.
Jesse Call actually was going to give me a headset this weekend so I could scream at him and make him pass cars.
Well, there was a funny.
What was it? Just before he got here, or just before the race started?
Actually, he the first race, he got here on time, and he was trying to do better because we all joke, and then he got in the car, and then he got a fifth place finish, and he's trying to do better. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, come on, like just get me on the headset with you, because I know Mark's, Nevaeh's dad, Edward spots for him, and I'm like, well, just let me get on there with you. Maybe if I cuss you out or something, you'll get mad enough and you'll just drive it. So,
All right, we're gonna go to Dan. We'll come back to them in a few minutes. I need to slip over there and go see for a minute.
okay.
Stick around.
You know what? Yeah,
And keep on your sponsorships going up next year.
that's right.
Hang on. How does she determine the sponsorship amount?
Because you never gave me $1 an hour.
You just don't need to negotiate.
I'm telling you.
You have to work on your
But
negotiation
hey, if you want to
skills.
find another spotter or another sponsor for me, I'm glad to take your one.
It's like when you go to work somewhere, they're like, you can't quit until you find somebody else to replace you.
Yeah.
So the Sparky, when you signed up to sponsor her, it was, you can't leave until you find another replacement.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Good luck.
I ain't trying to get into all that. All right, we get ready to.
Hello, I'm Brian Morehouse, Director of Marketing for S&N Communications Incorporated. I'd like to welcome you to this week's show of Jack Dodson'S Inside Racing News with Scott Allen and Adam Wilbrock.
All right, let's go to Dan. How you doing, Dan?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me on.
I'm sorry we run a little bit. We had so much fun going on up here. It's kind of funny.
Oh, no, I've been watching. It's been great.
Well, Dan, tell us a little bit about your racing. I mean, I know you're up at Dominion racing up there, but tell us a little bit about what your racing and everything you're into.
Well, we started about 2013 at Southside Speedway, running the Grand Stocks, they call them there.
Mm-hmm.
And see, we won about 30, 35 races out there in the Grand Stocks and 2 championships. And then Southside closed down and we moved to Dominion and ran what they called a Dominion stock up there. And we had good success up there. We've won 2 championships up there with that.
So you just won a couple weeks ago. I mean, I saw where you won a couple weeks ago. That's got to be good to
Yeah, we
get
moved.
that win under your belt.
Yeah, we moved up into the limiteds, they call them up there. And last year we were able to run a full season. Just learning. It's a lot different than what we were running. Had some bad luck, but we were in contention for a couple wins and we were able to finish 4th overall. So it was just a learning season and seat time to get used to it.
Well, and tell us a little bit about those limiteds up there at Dominion. We got limiteds here. Sparky's in one of them. But tell us a little about the limiteds up there and how many cars and everything you got going up there.
We have a good field. It's usually about 18 to 20 cars every week. Running the 604 crates, on an 8-inch tire, Coney shocks. So it was a lot for us to learn, but it's always a good field, great competition up there.
So are you going to be running there all year? Or are you going to try to go down to some other races somewhere else? Or what's the deal?
Well, they've changed the class up there to a Division I now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll stay there all year and see if we can race for a Division I, championship. We'll never be able to really run a late model money-wise. So this is a good opportunity for us to run for a Division I, track championship.
So who all helps you with your car? I mean, we got a big crew to help you with your car?
Well, we don't have a huge crew, but we got people that help us a lot. Brett Hamilton, I got to thank him for always being there for us throughout the years. He's my fab guy. HC Sellers and Sellers Racing were able to help us a lot this year and during the winter time. They're always a phone call away. Appreciate them. Brian Tanner, engine builder, gives us that bullet under the hood we got. Thank him. My spotter, Bubba Urban Jr., he's always been with me. I got Harley Jake Hatton and Caleb Southern, my crew, and Tara. And then we got our sponsors, Wendy Patterson. Without her, we wouldn't be able to do it. And Connor and Kenny at Biggs Automotive, got to thank them too.
You got a pretty good lineup of folks there with Brett Hamilton and Bubba Urban being a part of the team. That's a pretty good group there.
Oh yeah, Bubba's been with me for forever. And the last race we had, the car, it got tight when we got out front, and he was basically able, to walk me through it, start backing up the corner. He could see what I'm doing. He's experienced enough to walk me through it and help me get that win.
So what's it like racing out at Dominion compared to other places that you've raced? I mean, that's a bigger track, little banking, maybe a little bit faster than some. So tell us a little bit about it.
A lot of thinking.
Yeah. Southside was, little old bull ring, and we went straight from that to Dominion, high banked, a lot longer, a lot more forces in the seat. So it was a big change for us. We came down to Langley one time and was going to run one of Mac Tatum's ground pounders, but we made it to the starting grid, and I think the fuel pump gave up or something. But I got to make laps around Langley. That was totally different. The long corners, flat track. I'd love to come down there one time and try it in a limited, but the tracks are pretty different.
So the thing up there at Dominion, with the banking and stuff there, you carry more speed. Was it really a big thing to get used to when you came from Southside up there?
Yes and no. It didn't take us very long to get the hang of it, but I did have to go home and change the seat in the Dominion stock because we didn't have a full containment seat, and my neck was pretty tired by the end of the first one, so we went home and put a full containment seat in there because there was a lot more forces going into the corner.
Yeah, but it's a nice track up there. That's a good place to race.
Oh, very nice facility, nice track. People are great. Competitors are great, no problems. So we're thankful to have it to race at.
But you got some good some good competitors there. But I'm glad to see you beat Callahan the first night.
Oh, yeah. The late model guys thought they were going to come down and just whoop us, but I'm sure they'll get better. I think it's a pretty big difference going from a late model with all that power and a 10-inch tire down to an 8-inch tire and not much power. So, but I know they're going to get the hang of it. So
did you have the chance to pass Callahan when you got there that night?
Yes. We got the pole, drew a 5, and was able to pass Callahan.
Did you wave at him when you went by him?
No, I did not wave at him.
Well, next time wave at him, tell him it's from me.
All right, we'll do.
Yeah, it's good to see that they went to that, making the limited the feature race up there, or the feature series, and that's pretty cool that they did that. And it's kind of good for the expense for everybody too. Yeah,
the late models just, we could never afford that, the 4 tires every night, and even the motors and shocks, and we do the best we can what we got now, but it's just cool that it's Division I now and we get to run that.
That's good. It's a good thing. So I think it's really fun to see that happen up there. Hopefully I'll get up there sometime and get to see the racing up there, because I love it up there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So anything else you want to tell us about anybody helping you, or anything like anybody you want to give a shout out to other than what you said earlier?
That's about it. Just got to thank Tara for being there with me, putting up with me, and with me every night in the shop and every day at the track. So we still got some testing to do, some fine tuning, hopefully. And we got rained out last week, and this week ain't looking much better. So I'm hoping we can get it in though, because we're going to carry that momentum from the first win and hopefully keep going.
Well, and she does a great job promoting too. I've seen some things she's done promotion. I think it's great that she does that.
Yeah, she knows how to do all that. I'm not very technical with all that stuff. So,
well, Dan, we appreciate you spending some time with us. It's great to have you on. Hope you get a couple more wins and get back here, and we'll get you back on again and spend some time with you.
That'd be great. Thanks for having me again.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sparky, is your life like mine? So how many times she's corrected you?
Yes. I'm telling you.
Uh-oh. We having something going on here that I was missing.
Sparky tried to give us some information, but Crystal gave us some.
I gave him facts. Like, he's trying to say that it's going to have a bad weekend. I'm like, no, it's not anymore. It went down on 20% chance.
Well, it's calling for a 60% chance of rain Saturday. Last time I checked, it was
You
60.
don't say the R word.
Now she says down to 20. My app shows 40. I don't know.
I'm always right.
He said, put that on the car.
That's what I deal with on a daily basis.
You know, you said you've been married how long?
30 years.
So fun fact, we went on a cruise, and you know how they do the opening little number thing and they show you?
Oh God,
Well,
here
me
we
and
go.
Sparky got put on stage for about pinball balls out of his butt. And I have the video. And I'm going to post it for you on the Jack Dodson show.
Mark, your life's over.
Man, I'm liking this. I'm gonna have a hell of a cruise when I go with you guys.
I'm raising your hand. I'm gonna find you that night. You're going up there.
He said, send the date. Somebody to see what I got going on.
November 9th, sir.
I have to go on there.
Do like free bingo packages, free chocolate covered strawberries, free brute.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
don't drink that stuff.
Disgusting.
Yeah, November 9th. Maybe get your tickets. We're leaving for
Did,
Norfolk.
We can do that.
Have y'all done the scavenger game?
They do
Yeah.
with kids, but the
Yeah.
No, this one you don't do with kids.
Oh no, you're talking about the adult one at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
The one we did the last time we were there.
Yeah, we
oh,
won the chip on the stick.
Yeah.
But that one gets rolled.
Where they ask you those really inappropriate questions. 'Cause that's
Oh no, it gets like.
so they
it's a
stopped that. They recently stopped it. Now they just ask you questions and you
Yeah.
sit in a row.
Yeah, they ask you a whole bunch of questions. You have to go in line A, B, or C.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but it still gets.
Oh, it still gets a little wrong. Yeah.
Like you had to like
It's spicy.
basically play out one of them. You had to basically perform a porn scene.
Oh no, they stopped it. The lady told us like a couple cruises before the one we went on, they stopped it because of all the complaints they were getting.
Yeah, people were complaining about it. I'm like, we're there for a good time, baby. Yeah.
That's what do they? It's not a scam. What the hell do they call it? I'm drawing a blank now.
I forgot. They had a name for it.
Yeah, there is a name.
And then I ended up going to work because I had to work a couple of days on the cruise. And so I go into this library, right? And these guys are meeting. They're like, "You're here for the what is this thing called?
Friends of Bill
The
W.
Friends of Bill W." I'm like,
Oh, what is that? I see
It's an
that.
alcoholic anonymous.
sure. And they're
Oh, is
like,
it?
"Well, my name is Bill, and I'm an alcoholic." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm a race car addict." I'm not an alcoholic.
Oh, was I not supposed to bring that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they got a Friends of Bill W. It's alcohol anonymous.
Oh, I
meeting.
didn't know that.
She found herself in an alcohol anonymous meeting. Oh, okay.
Sounds like it found you.
Yeah, they did.
I was in there working.
Hey,
The
November
guys
9th, it's
over
all
there.
baby.
November 9th.
November 9th.
That's gonna be a wild cruise.
So it's gonna be a great cruise because all my family's coming.
Oh, really?
And I'm
Usually it's like 30 of us, 20 or 30 of us.
So it's gonna be a great cruise because all mine's coming too.
Have half the boat.
I'm telling you. Here we go.
If y'all participated in any of the like the YMCA, I usually end up on the stage on a few times.
She did the
I
music
did the
trivia.
dancing one.
Mm.
So I like to sing karaoke.
Oh yeah.
I ain't brave enough
He
for that.
video records me when I sing
Yeah.
because we actually, fun fact,
Eddie said, "Where are we going?"
Sparky's in the choir at church.
Yeah, she got me singing.
You
I can
could
do
have
everything
a
to do.
million things, and I would have never.
He
said
pops paintball balls off his butt and he sings in the choir.
I'm talented.
I got out of this, yeah.
Oh man! I wonder where he learned these things at.
Guess what? I'm gonna have me some ping pong balls. Now I like to go to the shows and set right up.
Yes.
My wife does not like that, but I like to go to the comedy shows. And stuff.
So if you do the thing and you get on the stage and you pop the ping pong balls and they give you the Wi-Fi and all that, you get the entertainment VIP. You get front row seats to every show.
You're lying because we popped our butt several times and never got a free Wi-Fi package. That was $200.
I don't understand.
That went to a tire. $200.
Whatever.
We're just ex Crystal.
That's what
I'm telling you.
And look, it's so funny. I was at dinner the other night, and my friend and his wife, they were talking about something. He's like, "No, it was a one bedroom." She's like, "No, it was a two bedroom." They had like two different. And my wife's like, "I love this because that's mine and Scott's conversation." It's
Yeah.
like whatever happens, like we have two completely different stories of what happened.
Yes.
Now there
But
is
see, now
some,
you gotta be married, when you're married as long as I've been married, and you get to a discrepancy like that, the easiest thing to get out of it with is say, yes, dear, and go on about your business.
I don't know how to say that.
He ain't been married long enough.
no, I have literally said, you're right, like 2 times. And when I say it, I feel nauseous. I have to work. It feels like I have COVID instantly because I'm like, and I have to, I'm like, you're.
It's like I pull my phone and I'm like, hang on, can you say that again? I'm like,
I've never heard the words.
So
you can.
But
Yeah.
it comes to race cars and people all the time it's like, it must be really nice that you and your husband both race. No. Because if I do good one night, even though he's excited for me, he will criticize what I didn't do right. And then I criticize on him for not going any farther than 7. So I mean, it is a constant.
I yell at her to find the bottom, and she yells at me to run harder.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Ricky Roberts says he's alone.
But on a side note, yeah,
You ain't never been wrong, Ricky. That's why.
yeah. Were you out here Saturday when you got drenched?
Mm-mm.
Oh, she missed it. Man, I told everybody when the Enduro race took the checkered flag, I looked at all the crew. I said, grab something and head to turn 1. I drove the car in the trailer. I didn't even wait for the winch to get hooked up. I drove it straight in the trailer. I said, nope. It was a river in turn 1.
Oh, dang.
It was bad.
So speaking of you, are you coming back out here?
What, racing? Probably not, or at least not for the right now. I mean, I could if I it's just a time.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
It's tough and having health, and it's just tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of time in race cars, but we never get away from each other. She was doing a property management thing, and I used to work for her on the properties.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, so she was. We lived together, we raced together, and at one point, I was having to work with her.
So
No, you work for her.
he worked for me. So he
She
called
doesn't
me
write
up.
my paycheck.
He called me
About
up
it.
one day because when we're working, he's Mr. West. He called me up one day. He goes, "Your invoice is over 30 days. I'm going to apply a late fee." I said, "Let me tell you something." I said, "This is your wife speaking. If you put a late fee on that invoice, you will not work for me again." Yes, you did get a late fee on that invoice.
I'll tell you, save bills on time. I got a skybox down there to pay for. I need the bills paid on
That's
time.
a nice little feature to have.
It works really good with sponsors.
Maybe you'll have to. Yeah, but
It does work great for sponsors. They
Oh, get this.
do it.
Get this now. This is what scares me even more. Brandy Marshall said, and I work for Sparky.
She has.
Right.
She has.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I said, "Brandy, you want to make some money cleaning up harbor?" She goes, "I'm on my way."
wait a minute. Was that working for Sparky or was that working for Chris?
It was a
No, he works
combination of both.
underneath his
Yeah.
business, so
Yeah.
he had to pay
It's a-
taxes on it.
Yeah, no, it's never ever simple.
But I love my job. I travel to Texas and I go a lot of different places.
So half the time. Sometimes she goes off for a weekend.
I had a job previous to my new one where I was probably in 3 hotels in a week where I was traveling so much to
Okay.
inspections and stuff. And he looked at me, I mean, I wasn't able to get in the garage. His main thing is, I don't work on your car if you're not here to work on the car with me. So I'm like, I've got to figure this out. And I was traveling 4 to 5 days a week. So I was only home on weekends. And he was like, you need to find another job.
What kind of inspections for you?
Like affordable housing inspections, like tax credit. So I'm a regional manager for affordable housing. So I deal with Section 8, tax credit
Okay, gotcha.
properties, And it's so funny because when Brandy Marshall seen me dressed up, I walked into the apartment and I had my nice, professional gear on. She looks at me, she goes, "Is that you?"
It's not the same Crystal. I know it.
No. Multi-personalities. You should try living with her.
You will make it home tonight.
You should try living with her. I'm telling you. You don't know which crystal you're going to get.
Okay. Another
You know what they say? If you don't like that personality, hang up and then call back. You might get somebody different.
So another fun fact.
Oh, here we go again.
My husband, my daughter plays Fortnite, right? My
Yeah.
2-year-old daughter plays Fortnite. So she gives me the Nintendo Switch to play with them on Fortnite, right? So I'm like, this is so cool. Like, this is so awesome. I just get to take all my anger out and shoot all these like people, you know?
Get to shoot Sparky.
So,
Yes.
well, then he comes home with an Xbox. He gets mad at me because I come to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm down there with
She's
my
playing
little
video games.
gamer, my little gamer thing.
I'm working on a race car.
Yeah, man, you for staying out there working on race cars, yet she's down.
I'm in the house though.
So if I bring a race car in the house, we're good?
In the garage at home, yes.
It won't fit.
It's
So you need a bigger one.
I need a bigger garage, so I can build a bigger garage.
There you go.
That's one thing we'll never fight about. I'm trying to move to Smithville right now because I want a small rancher with a 6-car garage.
That ain't big enough.
For 4 race cars.
That's what I said.
No, we got
6-car garage ain't big
the
enough.
ST, got the
Oh, you
Miata,
got the
got the Subaru.
the race,
that
the
we
Wednesday race car.
Yeah.
There you go.
You want
Brandy
to
just said that. She said, "Oh my God, you should see them play Fortnite."
Oh, I'm
No,
serious.
her.
She walked
I
in
don't
on me,
play.
and I'm like doing this, and I'm like almost in second, like, and this guy's trying to kill me, and Brady walks in, and I'm like, stop talking.
I got my serious face on.
I don't play video games. I haven't played video
You play
games in
video
years.
games? You
Yeah,
gotta be up
I haven't
for
played
Fortnite.
forever.
I'm very competitive.
Anyhow,
So you race this weekend?
I do. We both do.
we
Oh,
both
do you? Okay.
we limited ran last week, limited runs this week, limited runs next week.
Oh, damn, 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and get this. Tell them you're playing for next week.
Oh, so we race on Saturday. Sunday at 6 p.m. we fly to Orlando. Monday we get on a cruise ship.
How many
Friday-
damn cruises y'all
for,
take?
for a year.
3 to 4. And
I was
then
just like, we're there.
then we fly back.
Ago.
Then we fly back on Friday, and then I race again on
You
Saturday.
all platinum?
I am.
Oh,
But no, we're not going on anymore.
Huh?
You hadn't called your.
I'm not a
Man,
I'm not a cruiser. I think their food is horrible. There's no seasoning. So he convinced me. Let me tell you how slick he is. Oh gosh. My first cruise, I
He got
hated it.
you, huh?
Uh-huh.
Right. My first cruise, I hated it. So the second cruise we went on by ourselves, he goes and books me a massage, gets my feet done, gets my nails done, gets my hair done. I'm hooked. Then the third cruise that he goes and books, he goes, oh yeah, you're not getting none of that anymore.
Yeah, that's just expensive.
I spent like $2,000 in the spa in a week. No, we're not doing that again.
Bill Melissa's hi. What's up, Bill?
Oh man, but yeah, it's you know what?
This is
What
poor Adam. He looks tired.
I'm was it the end of the year? I have to look at the schedule. We run 3 weeks with twins. Talk about being some wore out tires. And
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know what's going to happen. It's near the end of the season, like September. We run 3 weeks back to back to back twins. I'm like, oh, that's going to be killer on some tires. I don't know how that's going to play out yet, but
Get your wife to buy you some tires.
Mary can buy him some tires. I'm not.
You'll probably figure out who this Mary is.
He's gone somewhere and I can't find him. I say he's with Mary.
I don't know.
Are you guys excited about 3 Day of Destructions this year?
Well, I mean, I think it's. I mean, obviously they're very popular.
They are very popular.
You know.
I missed the first one.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was on a cruise.
Oh. I know. I was like, damn. Seems like every time I look on Facebook, it's like.
It's kind of like you going to Vegas.
Well. Vegas is Vegas. Vegas is
Why do you
Vegas.
like Vegas so much? Just because you were gambling?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not a gambler, and I'm not really a partier. But just that's where like all the conventions are. So we end up there because of the convention going on. Or like SEMA's like the biggest event for automotive industry. It's the biggest event in Vegas actually. But there's a lot more. A lot of people think there's just gambling and partying in Vegas, but there's a lot more to Vegas. And there's a lot of stuff to see. The Grand Canyon. There's a lot of shows. There's a ton of shows to go to.
I went to the Grand Canyon, into was it Hoover Dam?
Mm-hmm.
I went there when I went to Vegas. I went to both of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't make it by the Hoover Dam. We didn't have enough time. But there's cool shows, and I would recommend anybody like you go and go see a concert at Spear. It's a place that's
I think they were still building it last time I was there.
it just opened up maybe last year, but it's
I don't know who
crazy.
Jerry Bunch is. You know Jerry Bunch?
Joey?
Yeah.
That's one of the
Joey
crew
Bunch.
guys.
Joey Bunch, yeah.
He's one of our crew members.
Okay. He
His
said,
name
this
is,
sounds like story time with Crystal.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, you know what, Joey?
You can be on the shit list too. You and Sparky gonna be sleeping together.
Oh,
So
whenever,
which one's Mary?
whenever if Sparky makes me mad, you know what he does? He texts me and says, "Crystal, go fix it." Joey, I'm not fixing it. You tell him to come fix it. I'm not fixing it.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, let me tell this story. Fun fact.
Round 5.
I was a manager at an apartment community. His dad, we could not pay any vendors, so we tried to get another vendor because we had 2 ACs out. So I looked up his dad, and his dad came out and said, "I'll look at the stuff for you." So, okay, good. He said, "I'm bringing my helper with me." I said, "Who is that?" He said, "My son." He said, "Nope, don't look at him." I was like, "What? I'm not doing anything." So he comes out, and I was like, "Oh, he's cute." Well, he was into cars. We were talking cars. Well, then I started going to his shop because he worked at the parts store, and I would come and see him. Well, not at all during this time did I know that he was about to get married.
Who was getting married?
He was. He told me that he was on a break, but then he ghosted me and got married.
I was with
Showed his
somebody.
cage gears.
and then we-
Let me go where I thought it was going. No, we're not going off the track here.
She got ghosted and then
He
came back.
ghosted me. So after 13 years
He's like,
later,
bitch, you cool, word.
I messaged him and I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to do I want to do a dyno tune for the Ford, and nobody wants to dyno the ST because they call it an import. You know, it's not domestic. So Horsepower Solutions and then was like, we don't really want to mess with your car." So I messaged him.
Randy's like, what?
And I'm like, "Is there any way you can help me out?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why don't you come to my race tonight?" I'm like, "Okay." And I showed him his race, and his dad was there. He goes, "Oh my God." That's exactly that.
13 years later, here we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How do you forget that?
And then after that was pretty much good. And then he proposed to me in an airplane where I couldn't say no. So
Yeah,
in public, that's
I
how you
had
get
to
them.
say yes.
Went down to OBX and did one of the little private plane tours, go down the beach. So I did an airplane. So she's like, "Brother, say yes or jump out." Hey, you got options. Might not like the second
Fine,
option.
fine.
But it's
Wow,
really,
that is
it's
funny.
really, and you guys know this. It's hard to meet somebody that does not understand racing lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
like
I'm
an
not
extra
putting-
bedroom if you need one spark.
I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but like with me liking cars, I'm a female who really likes cars and really into all types of cars. So the men don't really like that because it's a predominant male hobby.
Mhm.
And then with the men, all their attention and time and money is still in the car, so the women get pissed off. So I mean, you have to find somebody who understands that lifestyle, or
They
it's
just
not
stay
going to
away from
work for you.
Mary.
I pardon that.
Yes, leave Mary down alone.
I beg her pardon. I got yelled at and cussed at because I came home at 1 o'clock in the morning, so she did not
Working
understand
on
the
a
race
race
car. I got fussed
She
at,
didn't get the memo.
and she didn't get the memo on that.
That is because you didn't text me and ask for
She's got a tracker on my phone. Ain't like she don't know where I'm at.
Look, I won't do
This is more information in one night, and I need to go home tonight, lay down on the bed, and process. I mean, the biggest thing I've learned is Sparky sings in a choir at church. That's
No, and he pops his butt with people.
what, yeah, that's true.
And I'm gonna make sure that that's put on your website so everybody can
I'm
see
getting you
it.
in November. I'm getting you.
You make sure you get evidence of this shit.
I'm gonna get it.
I'm from the show
Look,
state.
I'm gonna get on that boat and I'm gonna start looking like this. And I see him anywhere, I'm gonna go the other way.
He's like, "Head on a swivel."
That's your job. You keep an eye out for the
whole week, Clay, the whole week.
Look,
Yeah,
that ship
just,
ain't.
he'll tell you where he's at.
Hey, listen, it's like this. The ship's like 100-some foot wide and like 1,100 foot long. You can't have it so far.
Yeah.
Jack, if you get desperate, just jump off the side.
Who's his last name that took the video? Adam what? What's Adam's last name that took the
Oh,
video?
Wilkins.
Okay.
Oh, you gonna go look at that? Oh yeah, we had more friends on the ship that was up in the balcony watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pop said back to the shop tonight again.
Yeah, he's probably already there.
Divorced. Immediately.
But Pop's done said, he said you should have left his son alone like he told you. He didn't say that.
That's the truth.
That was funny.
We could have saved a whole lot of headache
He said, "Oh,
and a whole lot of money on building another car.
Well, I guess that's the end of this show.
Come back next week.
We'll come back next week.
Crystal story's been going on for a good little while.
I know.
We can come back next week and talk about more.
I thought there's plenty more.
There's plenty more.
Somebody just texted me, should I bring ping pong balls this weekend to the track? Hey, instead of national anthem, we could just have them on the victory lane and pop.
Oh, what do you want me to sing that national
No,
anthem?
during the beat of the national
Are
anthem.
you gonna sing that? Oh,
No.
I bet I can arrange.
Yes,
I bet I can arrange.
yes,
Glad
you
you
should.
did, but I'm not.
Hey, wait a minute, what's Pop's talking about? He said, cool, Big D is coming on.
I don't have no idea.
Big T is coming.
I don't know.
November 9th, Basil Esplin, are you going too?
That would be hilarious.
Everybody start booking tickets, man.
November 9th.
Everybody here, come on, we're all going.
That's gonna be a Langley Speedway cruise. Let me tell you.
That is funny.
The Basil would have to bring his outfit.
Basil, just
Even
bring
if
yourself.
Oh, it's gonna be a trip.
Maybe we do have to go.
Wonder if we're gonna see Cindy Lou show up on it.
She almost came out. I'm not gonna lie.
I heard they were 2 boxes down Saturday.
Oh, y'all were here. Me and Brandy was prepared. We were prepared in there. Y'all were here. We kept looking at you.
That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I
I
know.
mean, the Bridge is definitely a Jack Dotson fan. I mean, he's got all your gear. The hat, the little fanny pack,
The
the
Grinch,
shirt.
the Grinch loves your sodas.
Yeah. He's got it all. Loves it.
I can imagine y'all's face if you look to the
I
left.
swear I thought it was you.
Oh, he knew it was you.
When they came in, I knew who she was. When
Uh-huh.
she come in, I knew who she was. But the second one, I thought, Sparky's trying to be funny.
Especially when she stole his drink.
Well, you know, that was all set up. She was coming up here, and Brandy texted me and said, "I'm getting yours." Or was that the second time they came? When she was up here.
The first time Brandy just texted out of the blue and said, let's go
Oh,
and
yeah. That
go
was
in
the
Jack
first time.
Dodson's show in Sky Island and let's wreck it. I'm like, okay.
But the second time, she didn't know that Brandy was coming.
Oh, really?
She didn't know Brandy was coming the second time.
No, I
Brandy
didn't
texted me
know.
and said, "I'm coming to your
yeah,
house."
you were
Oh,
here.
yeah.
She was already here.
That's right.
Brandy
I
texted me and
forgot
said, "I'm
about
coming to get it. I'll be at your house in 10 minutes."
that.
I was like, "Oh Lord, here we go."
No, that first time was priceless.
So I just got on the phone and just watched.
Hey, I'm gonna find this video. I'm gonna
Uh,
post it.
Basil's not going till Thanksgiving, so
Well, he's later in November.
yeah, he's later in November, so we won't have him on the cruise.
Do we need to have a group invite here? Oh Lord.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. Next week, I got, Lord, I done forgot who I got next week.
Might be Crystal and Sparky. We'll find out.
Chapter 2.
Yeah. Story time with
They need
Crystal.
their own day of the week.
Elby Harrison and Blaine Harrison. Blaine runs the car tour,
Okay.
and he's gonna come on with his daddy Elby, who used to be a big racer out at Lonesome Pine, but he's back from my neck of the woods in West Virginia, so we
Oh,
call
this ain't the guy you said earlier, something about you raced with. You raced with him. I was like, how old is this dude?
Ron Renneberg.
Go with Dixieland.
Yeah. You said you used to race with him.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta be.
I think he's saying you're old.
No shit. He doesn't.
It takes him a minute.
Hey,
Yeah.
Did you walk with Jesus?
Hey, how was
We got horses out here.
it?
Oh, good friends. Well, we're not good friends, but I mean,
I'm a huge Larson fan, and I wear his shirt every race, and I just want somebody to sign.
She wants Kyle to sign her shirt.
well,
Might be able to get it.
Or he just come here and sit in my booth.
oh, that ain't gonna
And
happen.
I can shotgun beer with his wife.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Ask his wife. She'll bring it.
That's I'll be honest, that's why I like him so much, is because of his fight.
And he doesn't drink, right? It's like.
It's so fun. I love it. And then they go to local tracks and they race with people and talk to people. Like, they're very genuine people.
Wayne took a picture with Cliff and said, "Look who I'm having breakfast with last week."
Oh,
Have you seen
so
that?
mad.
Wayne White.
they took a picture with Cliff and sent it, and she's like, "Really? She's with him? Can I not get my shirt signed?" Wayne could have took the shirt with him.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. It was a very eventful show.
You got that right.
We learned a whole lot about Sparky that I didn't know before,
Oh.
and found out that we're going on a cruise together.
We're gonna make a poster at the next race for Free Mary.
So that's gonna be an interesting.
John, I
cruise.
need to be your lookout.
Yes, you're gonna be my lookout.
Yeah.
This was unintentionally planned too. That's the best part. That's the best part here. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll tell them exactly where you are.
Yeah.
I bet you will. You will. So anyway, y'all doing any excursions on that?
I ain't got that for you.
Yes, you did.
No, that's for this.
Oh.
Oh, we're going to Cozumel. We're doing something this time. I don't know. I haven't even thought
He's
about
not
it.
allowed to book excursions. He got me on the thing that tried to kill me. What was
The
it?
zip line.
First of all, the bigger you are, the faster you go. Okay, they call it zipping because you're fast. Okay, like the guy's like, whatever you do, don't stop in the mid. Like I'm gone and I'm about to hit the tree, so I pull up on the thing and I was stuck in the
She's
middle.
stuck in the middle of the zip
I
line.
did. He said you gotta crawl. I said, have you not seen me? I don't do push-ups. What am I supposed to do? He's like, well, I can't get you, so I had to really do. That's how I made third place,
Yeah.
Jack. Is I had to work my upper body, and that's what happened.
Pop said he can sing.
Oh.
Well, Adam, let's get together on Saturday and see if we can
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
hook Sparky up or sing the national anthem.
Absolutely
If
not.
we don't see them, we know where they stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Brian, go next door.
Go down one box. So we'll see him.
All right, we'll see you
I'm gonna
again
lock
next
the
week.
door.
Please like and share our show. You might want to. I don't know if you want to or not. But we'll see you next week.